I'd like to call the meeting to order of the SAFER Board of Directors. If we could all stand and pledge allegiance to the flag.
Eric, use their
Eric. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all very much. If we could have a roll call.
Cronin,
Here.
Colvin,
Here.
Langenhahn,
Here.
Maloney.
Yes.
Opal is absent and excused.
Okay, thank you. B, correspondence, comments from the public on issues or matters which the SAFER Board of Directors has oversight over. And are we hearing any correspondence or comments? Anybody online? No correspondence, no comments? Let's move on. Consent agenda, consent items. 4, approval of prior meeting minutes, August 12, 2025. And also approval of expenditures and receipts, August of 2025. It's your pleasure.
I'll make a motion to approve items 4 and 5 concurrently.
Motion by Cronin to approve 4 and 5. I'm looking over here. It's the only place I get to go is right here. Second by Colvin? No? Okay.
If there's any discussion.
Oh. Well, I got to get it on the floor.
Got it.
Okay, so I need a second by Colvin. Now, any discussion?
Yeah. Couple quick questions, just on, just asking, looking at the expenditures. And I'm making assumptions here, when you see Facebook and Amazon, I'm assuming you're buying stuff off of
Facebook
Marketplace?
So Facebook is, we did a,
Boost your post
yeah,
for
we were
job
boosting our post
stuff.
for job.
Okay.
I don't even know what I'm trying to
Postings.
say. Job posting, yeah, campaign. We've tried a bunch of different job posting campaigns, and none of them have really worked. The Facebook post, it was a total of $250. The problem with Facebook is they charge you every time you get to like $30 or whatever the increment is. That's why you see so many.
Yep.
But we got a tremendous amount of applicants from doing it that way. We're actually going to be interviewing 22 potentially.
Okay.
What was the other one you had?
And we had a total of
Amazon.
36 or 30.
Amazon is the other one?
Yeah, I just thought it was Amazon.
Amazon was definitely not me.
Yeah. We buy miscellaneous stuff off of Amazon for the department. That might have been technology stuff that was purchased, or the other thing that's purchased off of Amazon at times is uniform items. So a uniform item would be purchased with a battalion chief's credit card, and then verified and applied towards Amazon. Those are the two big purchases that come out of Amazon. We do limit them. Do you have the exact breakdown for Amazon?
Yes, I am on page 12. Myers, Amazon, 241.
Yeah, that would be tech IT stuff with the radios, wouldn't it?
241 is maintenance, vehicle maintenance. So he probably bought a siren speaker or something like that.
Yeah, we've been
look.
having some problems with the siren on rescue. It was probably the solenoid or something was replaced.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, I see.
Any more?
Okay.
Any more discussion? We're good?
Yeah, thank you.
Good? All right. Without any more discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. I'm sure this is farther into the agenda here, but do we have some introductions tonight?
We do.
Why don't we move that forward so that I don't feel uncomfortable like not knowing who those three are.
So those are 3 interns.
Yeah. Chop chop. Let's go.
You want
You guys
them
want
to-
to stand up?
You guys want to
Let's go.
stand up and
Yeah.
maybe introduce
Yeah,
yourselves?
who's who?
Start with Logan.
Just say who you are, where you're from.
Okay. Well, are you script everything they say? Or
I'm
what?
just trying to help them
And you,
out.
okay,
you also have to say how much you like
I'm
it,
just trying to help
even
them
if you
out.
don't.
Okay.
I'm Logan Lankowski.
Okay.
I'm originally from Phillips, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Um,
That's a great area. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, welcome aboard.
I'm Abigail Graham, I'm from Eau Claire.
Okay. Another nice area. Yep.
I'm Parker Russ, and I'm from Raya.
Okay. From where?
Raya.
Very small.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay.
it's like north of Madison.
Oh, North of Madison, okay,
By
sounds good.
Portage.
Okay. Do you know some of the people here? So we're the board, the SAFER Board of Directors. So I'm Mark Maloney. I'm the president, they keep electing me, I don't know why, to the board, the president of this. I'm also on the trustee board for the Village of Weston too. So, do you know?
No, Aaron
Okay.
Golden, I'm with Rib Mountain, representing Rib Mountain.
Okay, just back up. So Jessica Troutman here. She's a finance director here with the Village of Weston, okay?
Hi,
You know-
Galen Roden, the
Yeah.
village administrator for the village of Rib Mountain.
Rib Mountain, okay, it's a dual venture. You know that, okay. Go ahead.
Keith Longanon from the town of Marathon, we're contracted with SAFER for
Mhm.
services.
He's our longest board member, right?
No.
Yeah.
Al.
Oh, Al,
Tied with
yeah,
Al.
well, you and Al,
Al.
yeah, so, yep. Okay, Eric, you know.
I hope so.
They should know
Just say your name and address for the record. No, I'm just kidding. Abigail? Yeah? You
Yep,
know,
yep.
you, okay.
Yep.
Sherry, you know,
Yep.
okay. And,
Steve Cronin, Village of Weston Board of Trustees and Safer Board of Directors.
yep, okay, you know the chief over here?
My name is Lisa, I'm just a nosy constituent.
That's fine, yeah. Village of Weston?
Weston,
Okay,
of course.
okay.
I'm
And,
Jamie Gabbard, I'm the administrator for the village, and if you ever need anything, you're welcome in this building. Please
yeah,
come and
yeah,
see us.
anytime. So you, just for your
Yep.
information, these are the three interns, right? Is that what
Yep.
they're
Yep.
called?
Yep.
Yep, and we actually started this program just this year. The chief and the Eric here started, they actually live almost full-time or full-time?
Full-time.
Full-time in our safety building. And we actually converted some of the offices that were there for the EMPD. So they live in there and then they're going on runs and learning and the whole, how's it so far? Did you make the right decision?
Oh, yeah.
Or like, I gotta get the hell out of here?
They-
No? Okay.
They've all had some very interesting calls
Yeah.
in a
Yes.
very
Okay.
short amount of
They've had
time.
We heard right away, there
Trial
was
by
a couple
fire.
right away.
I've been watching the
So-
pages, there's been a lot of,
They've had some
Yeah.
good ones.
So,
Yeah.
hopefully, put your hand up if you need, if there's plenty of people here to ask questions. And
Abby
help
only
and
made it
stuff.
about 12 hours before she had to
Yeah.
learn that her cell phone needs to be charged at all times.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I would get a few more cords, that's for sure. I have to have it in every vehicle, so. Well, good. I just didn't want to go through the whole meeting here without you guys being introduced. Thank you. And,
You guys can stay or leave.
yeah,
So-
no, you can, yeah.
Just a
yeah.
little bit about them and
Mhm.
the program. It's a 2-year program. They live at the station. We're paying for training, and the trade-off is we pay them a minimum wage while we give them room and board, and they work full-time for us.
Right.
So they're at the station. They're another staff member, but they don't count as staff.
Okay.
All 3 of them recently finished EMT, so they're all licensed EMTs now.
Well,
Abby and Parker just started firefighter 1. Logan came to us fire 1. He was on the fire department up at Phillips where his dad is a chief. And he's going to be starting firefighter 2.
okay.
And then next in the spring they'll all be in driver operator, and Abby and Parker will be in fire 2. And the next fall they'll start the paramedic coursework.
Awesome. Glad you're aboard. Thank you. Okay? All right. Now we'll get back to the meeting here. Business item 6, discussion and possible action on 2026 operational budget.
All right, so I have 3 budget options prepared. I'll kind of give you the general overview. Obviously, there are full breakdowns there, but if you look at this sheet, it gives you the down and dirty dollar amount
Yep.
that I know everybody's always interested in.
You can have
Do you have an extra
Yeah,
package?
she can have mine. I got it online here. She can have mine.
So, kind of going through these, the initial one would be basically
Yep.
continuing to operate the way that we operate today. The Village of Vermont would actually see a decrease of almost $16,000. Weston would increase by $89,421.
Boo. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Just
That's because the
indigestion. So
that's
sorry.
because the percentages changed. Ideally, we get the SAFER grant, and we get the 9 additional staff. Rib Mountains will go up by 106,238. The Village of Weston would increase by 349,276. If we hire 3 additional staff and do not get the grant, again, that like we said during the earlier Village of Weston budget meeting, those numbers are pretty much the same as if we hire the 9 with the SAFER grant.
And
So
ballpark percentage that's pretty consistent between the 2 villages is
percentage
for pay. So what portion do we pay, what portion is Remote?
68.01.
Yeah,
So 68.
Yep, that sounds
okay.
right.
And then
68.32.
6832
Okay,
next
I
year.
just,
Yep.
It moved by a
Yeah.
little over half or 3/4%.
It is 6801 and 30.
That's fine.
199.
Just a
Yeah.
ballpark. Yep, thank you. Are we done?
Well, those are the numbers. I don't know if anybody's got any feedback. I mean,
Okay.
obviously the big cost changes in there are wages. I do have a 10% health insurance increase budgeted. I do have our other insurance numbers hammered down pretty good. I heard back from Spectrum on from Jesse on what those would be. So really the only, I guess I would say, wild card that's in there yet is the health insurance. Other than that, I'm pretty comfortable with where all the numbers are.
Okay. It shows that your, discussion possible action, I mean, you can't.
I knew that.
Okay.
Sharon and I always have that discussion. I always say it doesn't mean we have to do anything because it's the option.
Yep. Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. All right, let's see, any more discussion? No
Yeah,
action
just-
tonight? Yeah.
No, just, can we talk about the
Sure.
numbers? So, curious on the numbers between, we go from 9, adding 9 to adding 3, and I was looking at the hourly wages. I'm assuming we're adding, what, 1 battalion chief or whatever?
No, we're adding 3 line
What?
firefighters.
Okay.
Which budget are you looking at?
I'm looking at the 9,
Okay.
adding 9.
Got it.
And I see we have an increase in salary from, it's $100,000 increase in salary, and then it's $700,000 increase in hourly wages.
So let me get down to that line. Give me just a second.
On page 17.
What page? 17?
Page 17.
Got it.
So you're looking at line,
Hourly wages.
Salary, it said it goes from 456 to 556. is
Yep.
what we're budgeting, so we're adding $100,000 there.
Yep.
And then we're adding hourly, so we're adding, 8 hourly people and 1 salary person then? Is that what we're looking at?
No, there's
No.
wage increases
those are
in
wage
there as well.
increases. So those are the market increases those are the market and merit increases that were approved at the last meeting. And the
What
wage,
percentage did you use?
That would be 7%.
so it'd be the 4% market and 3% merit.
So I added that, 456 plus 7% is not 556.
You use that same calculator?
This would be
This
me.
is Josh does the budget.
Yeah,
and
you're
that
right.
calculator I showed everybody,
That's-
that calculator is messed up.
I come up with
It's
4
confirmed.
salary.
It's confirmed.
I come up with
Totally.
488. So
It
that's
is
a difference.
confirmed.
Yeah, I got 488,027.
Yep.
Let me double check
It's
that.
70 grand.
Yeah.
Let me double check it. I'll get back to you.
Okay, and then when I look at the hourly wages, I take that $700,000, $695,000 increase divided by 8.
So that also,
The 9.
yeah. So it's not, but it's not 9. It's 3 because this with the 9, the budget pays for 65% of it. So it's
But
a
Eric,
30
it's not in there because it's in revenue
It's-
down
it's-
below.
Yeah, it's,
Okay.
yeah, it's subtracted out.
Yeah.
There's
So-
also a 3% increase for
Yep.
current membership.
So keep that, anyway, I did numbers, I said, okay, assume there's 1 person to be being added in salary, and 8, I didn't know for sure, so I went with my assumptions 1, and then 8 hourly wages. There seems to be a pretty big difference when I go to the 3, when we add 3 employees.
Versus the 9.
Versus the 9. If we add 3 employees, again, on page 20, I see that we had that $100,000 increase. So I assume that was a salary position, but that is going to come down now.
Can I interrupt for just 1 second? I'm
Yep.
sorry. Because there was an updated one sent out today because there
Yep.
was an error that I found. Are you looking at the
Yep.
updated one?
Is that, this is the no, this is the updated one is no.
Yep.
Full-time employees, yeah.
No grant with adding 3 full-time employees. That's what I'm talking about.
The top page?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. It should be stapled by itself, not in the
Yep, I see
packet.
it.
Yep.
I just want to make sure we're looking at the same thing so I don't get lost.
Did you get the email from Ben?
I did,
too?
but I didn't get to go through it yet because he sent it to me at like 5 o'clock. And I was already
Yeah, so
coming
there
here.
would be a change between the thicker packet and that smaller one in the numbers for the 3 people because there was an error in the thicker packet. The
There's
thinner packet.
I'll
is
get
the
to
one
that.
we're
But
going
there's
by.
also an error that we carried on to with the WRS and social.
Yeah, there's
Security
like
as
a,
well.
there's like a $13,000 change in there.
I think it's 20.
So, let me
Increase
just-
or decrease.
so the difference
Decrease.
between, I got the 1,596,940, that's the number that I'm using, minus the, the budget for 2025 of 1368,371, right? That's $228,000 divided by 3. That's what I'm gonna do my math.
But that also includes there was a 3% market increase, correct?
Correct.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
So it'd be 3 people plus 3%.
76, I wanna just do the math on the other one, because there was a difference here in the, pretty significant, okay, 76, 189. Sorry, I'm just re-upping the,
No, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
and now we got 695 divided by 9, 77. Yeah, so I mean, they're, not huge, but there's about a $1,000 difference between the wages and salary for the adding 9 people. That's 77,290. If you add 3, it's 76,189. Is there?
Because you're figuring 3% on less people. That's why it's coming out by that. Because you have to figure. So when I did this, I'm looking at this one right now, the one that's the standalone.
Yep.
So I took our current budget of the 1,368,
Yep.
371, and add 3%, which is in the union contract. So that takes us to 1,409,422, and then 3 times, and I apologize, I don't have a contract with me, but 3 times whatever the wage is for a new firefighter, and that is what is the budget for the 3 additional staff. But when I do it if you're going to add 9, I have to add the 3% wage increase onto 9 people instead of 3 people.
And that's 3% is the merit increase, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And is the merit, that was the union.
Correct.
basically
Yeah, that's in their
keeping pace with the
contract.
union. That's in their
Correct.
contract, yeah. 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 Just wanted to clarify that. If we annualize, see, 690. So we budgeted 2025 as 1,368,371 for hourly wages, correct?
Correct.
And we're at 690,513 year to date.
Yep.
Through the end of July. So if you annualize that, that's 1,183,736. So there's about a.
But you can't do it that way. We got to look at how many payrolls
Yeah,
we've
that's
been
what I was
through.
just gonna. I
Yeah.
was just gonna wonder. But there's a
Yeah.
couple $100,000. I mean, almost $200,000 difference there between.
Yep.
It's pretty significant.
It just depends how our payrolls hit. So even though we were halfway through the year at that point, we might not have been halfway through payrolls.
Okay.
Sometimes, and Jessica can jump in here, sometimes we're a month behind with getting payrolls entered into the accounting software. So Cher and Jessica will always know when we print out, Cher especially will print it out, and my next question is how many payrolls are in there. Because then I'll divide that out. Each payroll is about $75,000. So right now I know in our current budget, so obviously our current budget comes in later, we have 9.5 payrolls that need to come out of there yet.
And when if we're over budget or under budget, if you go under budget, where does the excess go?
To our fund balance. That's where our fund balance comes from.
Then transferring it to the capital, so when there's an overage, instead of using it to offset our operations, we ship it over to the capital.
And our capital costs have dropped significantly.
But it
Like-
allows them to replace like a radio or stuff like that they need without coming to the municipalities and saying we need more money.
Like when the radio at the station
Yeah,
goes.
like we just did a
Yeah.
couple months ago. Yep.
Okay.
And if we go over budget, I mean, do you look at the budget as a total item or as a total package, or is it by item?
I look at
By
it both
item?
ways. I mean, I certainly,
Because there's a few in here clearly that we're going to be over budget for the
Yeah,
year.
absolutely.
yeah, I mean, I try to make every line as close as we can, but one, we had, was that this year or last year, we had a $20,000 pump repair on an engine. Those things will put us over. We had one year where fuel costs were high because gas went way up halfway through the year. So obviously we try to make it as tight as we can line by line, but at the end of the day, We try to make the bottom line.
What's the holiday pay and IFT pay?
Holiday pay is they get time. It's two things. They get time and a half for employees that work a holiday, and then the union also has floating holidays that they can choose to be paid out for. If they choose, they have multiple days in the contract, and it changes yearly. They can choose to either take vacation those days, or they can ask for them to be paid out.
Cash out.
Or mixable.
Like a
cash out.
Okay.
So
While
that-
they're still working.
So that
Correct.
line item, when they get their holiday pay, it's the halftime on the pay. But if they take the holiday itself, then it would be the full wage. So that's low right now because their payout is December 1st.
That's what I.
So the first payroll of December, that line is going to dry up immediately because only out of the 21 employees, they all have, is it 2 or 3?
3.
They all have 3 holidays. So 3 times 21 is about 75. No, 60, whatever, 65 holidays. And of the 65, 4 have been used. So we're going to end up paying out about 60 holidays. So
Thank you.
24 times 500 times 60 or whatever that number is on average is going to come out of the payroll.
The holiday line always looks like that this
Yeah.
time of year.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, thanks for that explanation. It makes sense. As soon as you said, like, yep, that's going to kick in at the end of the year.
And IFT pay is what we pay interfacility transport staff. So that's nurses, paramedics that come in off duty, or it's really our people that are interfacility only staff, which right now they're just not very responsive. That's why that line is pretty low. I leave it because we continue to try to recruit more of those staff to bring them in to do those transfers, which brings in more revenue.
And you'll see when we get to my report, our IFT numbers were up for, what month are we in?
July.
August.
Or August, I'm sorry.
They were up quite a bit for August. So if those numbers go up, our revenue goes up, but then we take more out of that line because we're paying people more, whether it's a bonus pay or an off-duty wage, or there's a wage differential that they get if they go on an IFT if they're on duty.
Okay. Interest in investments, what are we earning interest off of? How much?
We have a CD right now. It's 4 point. Do you remember? It's 4 something %.
Yeah, I think you just renewed it.
We just
Or-
renewed it. Yeah.
Other than that, People's State Bank, we don't get a lot of interest because the SAFER district has chosen to have, when the money is just sitting there, every day People's puts it in investment. What is that called?
PUD.
It's not a PUD.
Or
It's in a sweep account right now.
It's in a sweep account, so like their grant account where they have their
Fab.
FAP account, it's like 7,000. That's
Yep.
getting 4% interest, but their general checking sweep account's only getting like 2%.
Sure. And then the general fund is sitting where? Where how much is in that? Where is that sitting?
It's in People's. It's in a checking account. There's 2 different accounts. There's like basically a savings and then our checking. And then because FDIC is only $250,000, they sweep those amounts to different banks every day, so we're covered. But it's not in any kind of an investment account.
No, it's
How
just,
much is in there?
let me open it. I can
Okay.
do it right here. Sorry. So the general account for checking stays at $100,000 every day. So peoples will sweep the money in and out of that account. But at the end of the day, it's $100,000. Their sweep account has 1.6 as of 7/31.
1.6 million.
Yep, and we got 1.51%. So it's pretty low.
So, and how often are you tapping into that?
Frequently.
What do you mean?
The 1.6, and how often are you utilizing?
This is the, you have no bank statements, don't you? This
Wow.
is what it looks like. This is the bank account. So the withdrawals and the deposits go to and from their checking account. This is the sweep, so it takes the money daily away from the general checking, or else it puts it in whatever is needed.
I mean, it's pretty high.
Yeah, the 1.6 includes the payments that like the 2 villages give us,
Yeah.
so that we can make payrolls.
Right.
So that 1.6 will come
But
down
what
and
he's
move
talking
around
about
as we
your
make
different bank
payrolls.
accounts. So the bank account that where your money comes out of to pay bills, that's called your general checking. It's at $100,000 every day, and whatever is over or under 100,000, they tap into the sweep account and either take or give money. So
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry for asking so many questions.
No, that's fine,
Not at
that's
all.
fine. Okay, any more questions? No, it's fine.
Nope, all my
So,
yellow highlights
we-
and red checks are answered, thank you.
So, on number 6, we've got a motion and a second, and under discussions, well, go ahead.
I don't think do we have a motion to approve?
Yeah,
No.
you and Colder.
I second
Yeah.
That was for,
Oh.
that was
That was
for,
to pay bills.
that was for the, that was for
Oh,
4 and
Oh,
5,
right,
not
okay,
number
oh, yeah,
6.
yeah.
I was gonna say, I think this was just discussion
Yes,
so
it's
far.
just discussion, do we need? we
Yeah,
need-
I don't think we need a
No,
I mean, there's
no.
some adjustments that have to be
Yep.
made and,
Yep.
Okay.
okay.
7, discussion possible action on 26 CIP budget.
All right, that should be in here as well. Let me get to that page.
25.
All right. So we have a 5-year CIP. Obviously, 25 is still in there. That money that you see in 25, that is sitting in an account right now. That is still from the sale of the ladder truck 2 years ago. That is the money we put into that CD. So that money has earned a fair amount of interest, and we have enough in our account that we renewed the CD. So that's going to continue to carry on in there. We have enough to pay for this ambulance. This ambulance, I haven't told Jessica this yet, but it will be a 26 expense, actually. It was supposed to be 24, got bumped to 25, now it's going to get bumped to 26. Unless we want to prepay for it or something, if that's
We
a,
get a discount.
I can ask.
We get a
Um,
discount.
But it was supposed to be delivered this month, then it got pushed back to December, now it just got pushed back to January. So that is still sitting there. Otherwise, in 2026, the deputy chief's vehicle gets replaced, so small vehicles, utility vehicles, basically our cars. So our SUVs and our cars, we expect a 10-year life expectancy out of. So our 2016 equipment is due in 2026, so that is the GMC Canyon that's currently delivered by or driven by the deputy chief. We also have our Interceptor Medic 1 in there, so that vehicle was originally used to do ALS intercepts. We have switched our operations a little bit, and we do ALS intercepts with our ambulances now for operational reasons. And actually, the interns are using the Interceptor to drive back and forth to school. So the plan is not to replace that with an Interceptor. It's going to be replaced with a basic everyday SUV like a Chevy Terrain or a GMC Terrain, I guess you'd say, or an Equinox or something of that nature. And I did a little preliminary investigation of those, so we're going to be able to get one for right around that $40,000 mark. Tender 2 is the wild card in here, so that is very dependent on what happens with our operational budget. If our operational budget doesn't include any new staffing, then that can come off of our CIP budget because we won't have anybody to staff it. And then radios, I'm sorry.
Is that at 2? Would that
It would
at
be
2?
stationed
So it
west
would
and-
be a second tanker.
Correct.
We're not replacing the one in.
No, we bumped
Okay.
that back. That one actually is due for replacement in 2026, but it's in
It's
such
in
nice
pretty
shape
good
yet.
shape,
It
yeah.
is. So I bumped it back to 2028, and honestly, it might be able to get bumped back again.
Just a question, Josh. How many people would that need for that tender to be able to say yay?
I would say a minimum of 6.
Yeah, we probably need 2 additional staff a day to staff
Yeah.
the tender, and that still doesn't staff the truck.
2 shifts.
Yeah, between the
Okay.
2 shifts. If we get the 9, we might be able to get the truck.
They would have to
out the
cross
door.
staff
They'd
the
have to
both- they
cross
both of them,
staff it.
yeah.
but-
So with the proposal in the budget, you had 3. So if the green light is on 3 staff members, then the tender's out still.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Correct me
could be pushed off, even if, so depending upon how the board wants to move, say we don't know if the grant's gonna be received or not. We're gonna plan on 3 and then we can push the tender off a year.
Mm-hmm.
What the tender does is helps with the ISO
I was
rating.
just doing that.
That's
That
the
was your
big,
question?
that's the
That was
big
the big
issue.
one.
So if we get the
The
9
non-watered area.
and the tender, we should be able to get our water haul rating back. So everybody who went from a 3 to an 8 would come back down at least to a 4 because they're within 1,000 feet of a hydrant. But right now, if you're within 1,000 feet of a hydrant, we don't have that water haul, so that puts you to 8. And that is a significant portion of the villages, and it's starting right now to negatively affect
Yeah.
insurance ratings.
Yeah, we did have somebody in our station, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, a month ago maybe, that said their insurance literally doubled. So,
I'm waiting for mine.
That's gonna be
coming.
something we have to borrow for, so that's why I'm, at what point are we gonna know whether we need to borrow for that or not?
And the other thing I will say with that, before we answer your question, is I have 390 in there. That is a pretty basic new tender. There are options. I mean, if we want to do something bare bones just to get something in the station, you could spend $40,000 or $50,000. Now the caveat to that is I would expect some maintenance. Number one, because that usually means the fire department is getting rid of it. And just like when we get rid of our trucks, I defer every bit of maintenance I possibly can the last year. So plan on some maintenance, and maintenance on heavy trucks is not cheap. And number two, then we would need to work that truck back in for replacement probably in 5 to 7 years or something like that. So we have options. But
What's a wait time on that then, for like a?
tenders actually, just because we would get a very plain, simple general tender you can pick up anywhere, you can get them right away. They have them pre-built.
Doesn't Imperial build those?
You can get them from places like that. They wouldn't have them pre-built, but like I saw in a magazine today, Custom Fire in Osceola has just what we'd be looking for.
Phelps Fire has
yeah. And tenders,
Stainless and Repair can build them pretty quick.
tenders I'm okay buying a cheaper, maybe not as a higher, well-named brand, because they're a very simple truck. You know, it's a chassis and a tank. So
Okay.
And there'd be no pump on it. It's just something to shuttle water.
yeah,
That's all we need.
And that would be only what the ISO really cares about too, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Get
But
in the water there.
keep in mind now, you know, years ago you used to be able to just tell ISO, yeah, we have a tender, and like there were fire departments that literally have tenders that didn't really even run. They just had them there for their ISO rating. You can't do that anymore. You have to show when we have those rural calls that those tenders actually responded, because they ask for all that
Yeah,
data.
everything's based on statistics now.
I have radios in there for $60,000. Radios are incredibly expensive. We tried for radio grants. I don't even know how many times.
5 years in a row at least.
Yeah, and we got denied every time. So now we're incrementally buying them. But $60,000 gets us about 8 radios.
Not even anymore, because the state is moving to 800 megahertz
Yeah.
frequencies. So in order for us to have interoperability throughout the state, we need to go. Right now, we don't have 800 megahertz at all. So the new radios we're getting with 800 megahertz, which increases the cost. Our guy says basically the number on the radio is what it costs. Right now we have 6,000 series radios, so they're about $6,000 a piece. The 800 megahertz are 8,000 series, so they're about $8,000 a piece. So.
The other thing is we are looking at a different grant from the state for radios. It'd be much smaller, but we are looking into that as well.
Okay.
Turnout gear at $45,000. That number, as you can see there, we have it planned out. It hovers right around $20,000 a year. The reason for the big increase in 2026 is if we hire the additional firefighters. So again, if those 9 firefighters go away or change, then that number will go down as well. $60,000 for EMS equipment. That is something that I added. So that is for a cot and a power load system. As you probably remember, we just rechassied an ambulance. That rechassis was delayed a couple of years, which meant that cot was a couple of years older when it got moved in there. Now we're starting to have problems with it already. And unfortunately, the companies that service these things say once they hit 8 years, they say, well, their life expectancy is up, and then they don't like to work on them anymore. 8 years, especially, this is for our interfacility transport ambulance. Even though that truck puts on a ton of miles, the cot doesn't come in and out very often just because of how it operates. It's not a 911 ambulance. So that cot won't last until we rechassis that ambulance again, unfortunately. Could we get another couple of years out of it? We probably could, but I'm just trying to figure out the best year to slot this cot purchase in. So we are looking at a different brand that is about $7,000 cheaper. That is actually what I have budgeted in here. So that is what that number is for.
Okay.
And the cot manufacturer that we currently use, which is Stryker, has a minimum mandatory price increase every October of 6%. Sometimes it's more like 10 or 12, but every year they don't care what's going on, your prices are going up 6%. So.
And just back to turnout gear, we haven't purchased any turnout gear yet this year. We're holding on to that till the end of the year to see what happens with these 9 to try to facilitate that better.
Okay.
In
What's it-
2028, the 2006 International, what is that?
That's the tender that I said we might be able to bump back again.
So that's
He said he
different.
already bumped it back.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. So they're both tenders.
Yep.
Okay.
You could actually
correct.
bump that
Got it.
again. Yep.
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 So the tender we try to get 20 years out of. So
Okay.
it's 20 years old. In fact, it'll be 21 years old in 2026. But it's
It's
in
in good
excellent shape. Yeah. I mean, it's got a couple little things that we got to tweak on it, but it's still really good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
What do you need to
Action?
I got a question. Is there, what, I don't know, I guess we can work it out later, but, where are the sources of funding coming from? Are we expecting to use capital reserve versus asking the municipalities if there's a way of knowing and distinguishing the sources of funding?
Yeah, we can work on that.
Because, yeah, I don't know what we're gonna have to be responsible for, because we're going up for borrowing,
Mhm.
coming up, this, June, so I just wanted to make sure that we have, I don't wanna borrow more money in RIB if we don't need to.
I didn't get that far into it yet because, like I said, there's $430,000 of unknowns in here.
Right.
Okay.
So
So discussion only for now?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 8, discussion of possible action on fee schedule.
All right. Let me get Sure, did you bring those with?
I don't see that in the packet.
It isn't in the packet. You give them to me?
Mm-hmm. You put them on top of your stack. They look like this.
Want me to make copies?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. You got it?
I apologize.
Thank you, Jessica.
Probably about 13, 14.
Can I ask a question
Yeah.
quick? Going back to the budget, there was one thing, why don't you have the admin fees for Ringle and,
Why are they not in there anymore?
Yeah.
Because they are the ones that the board approved a new contract about a year or so ago. That instead of charging a lower per capita fee and an admin fee, we just increased their per capita fee and eliminated the admin fee.
okay.
But the other municipalities are still under their old contract,
Okay.
so those will be
I was
updated
just,
when they expire.
Ben asked the question and that's,
Yep.
didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Stack right there.
You want to move to number 9, end of month budget review?
Sure.
Any attorney referrals? None? So that's done. 9?
So the budget is in the packet. If anybody has any questions, I can certainly answer them. Things are tracking along pretty good. I had hoped to have, usually about this time of year, I start to try to give the board a forecast of where we're going to finish the current year, and I had hoped to have that done by tonight, but I don't. I'll start working on that here
Collections?
now, and I'll have it for next meeting.
How's that collection thing going?
It's going well. I mean, as far as new EMS billing, yep, no, it's going well. Things are working good there. Myself, Eric, and Cher have spent a substantial amount of time on the phone and in web meetings and through emails with the GEMT people
Yeah, we're going
Oh, sorry.
in regards to that reimbursement. And I was at a North Central Chiefs meeting about 2 weeks ago, and the numbers for what departments are receiving back were all over the board. So for an example, in 2023, for the 2023 year, we were supposed to receive $58,000 back. And talking with Chief Briggs at Riverside, they were going to receive $330,000, which just obviously doesn't make sense. They run a third of the call volume, they have a lower budget. How can they be getting so much more money? So we asked that question when we were on the phone with the GEMT folks, and they basically said their calculations were wrong, Riverside's were wrong, and that their numbers were going to go down drastically. So I think we have this all figured out, but we've gone back and forth a lot, including today. Yet we're putting the final touches on it. So we should see about $58,000 the end of September.
Yeah, the end
Yeah,
of this
the end of
month.
this
And then
month.
in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, and that'll be for 2023's Medicaid
Yep.
EMS responses, and then the end of December, we should see another about 35 to 40,000. We haven't gone through the audit process on that one yet, but we should see another 35 to 40,000 of GEMT money for 2024's responses, and then December of 6, we will see money for 2025's responses.
It's always a year behind, and
Yep.
it's always in December.
Okay.
So the unfortunate thing is that program took, 4 years to finally get up and running.
Better, yeah.
And now apparently it's under some pretty heavy scrutiny across the country and might go away. So
Okay.
sounds like
And
it might be
that
somewhat short.
program just, if you don't, the program, what it's supposed to do, we charge X amount of dollars, and Medicare says, well, we're only gonna pay
Medicaid.
you, I know, I'm getting Medicaid. Medicare says we're only paying you whatever it is, 30%. Well, Medicaid gives us 30% of the 30%. So the GEMT is supposed to bring us up to a similar reimbursement that Medicare is paying us, so that we don't lose money on ambulance calls.
Right.
So that's what that is. In 2023, we had 127 Medicaid runs. So that's what that comes
Are we
paid for.
still losing money on Medicare claims?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we
Okay.
are.
We are.
You made it sound like
But
Medicare
that's
makes us
No.
what they said.
Okay.
Yeah, we still do lose money on those calls.
Right.
Any more discussion on budget review? Let's go back up to fees.
All right.
Everybody's
So
got the sheet?
now I lost mine when I was
Do
going
you need a
through
motion
that.
to acknowledge that?
Sure.
I'll make a motion.
To acknowledge month budget review by Cronin,
Second.
second by Colden. Any more in discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so carried. Back to number 8, discussion and possible action on fee schedule.
Okay, so the majority of this is in regard to, that I want to discuss tonight anyways, in regard to the ambulance fees. So I got some information from multiple different agencies. I've had more paperwork with me tonight than I ever have. I apologize. It's taking me forever to find everything. I can tell you which agencies these were from. I know it was Riverside, Oshkosh Fire Department, Manawa.
Western Lakes.
All right, it's Clintonville, Manawa, Marquette County, City of Oshkosh, Portage County, Riverside, and Western Lakes. These are the departments that were surveyed. So when you look at the high, low, and average, those are the departments those are used from.
Okay.
I will tell you that for everything except for the on-scene care, so the no transports, Western Lakes is by far the highest. So every one of those high numbers is Western Lakes. But then when they get to the on-scene care, they're significantly cheaper, and Marquette County is by far the highest for the on-scene care. So those two areas are kind of heavily weighted one way or the other. The other thing I will say is that the somewhat new thing in EMS billing is that, we still do resident, non-resident. A lot of communities have gotten rid of that, and they just do a flat. It's BLS, ALS 1, ALS 2, SCT. So that's something that the board may want to consider. That's why there's spaces in there, because this report didn't have resident, non-resident anymore. So some of the suggestions I put in there are, quite honestly, this is some information. Again, I was talking to Riverside today, and this is some information they got. The suggestions are somewhat close to what their billing company suggested they charge. I did bump a couple of them down a little bit because there's some pretty big jumps in there. So I don't know how the board feels about that. Keep in mind, I know this looks really good. Like, the BLS we could potentially raise by $400. We're not collecting that $400. I mean, on a small subset of patients, probably 10 to 12% of our patients will collect more. People that have commercial insurance, but like Eric said earlier, Medicare, Medicaid are going to pay us what they pay us. They don't really care what our rates are.
What do they pay us now? It used to be $266.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think it's $287.72.
Yeah.
72
And it doesn't
or
matter
something
what
like
we
that.
charge, that's all they're gonna pay us. And Medicaid pays us $100 and,
And what percentage are those two out of all bills?
Medicare is about half, or a little over half of our run volume. And like I said, our commercial insurance, the ones we want, tend to be about 10 to 12%.
Okay.
Medicaid is usually another 10 to 12%, and the remaining is self-pay, or like there's some oddballs like
Yeah.
railroad insurance and VA and things like
So
that.
65% is what it is. That's just it.
Yeah.
Then you got your other ones that are like 12.
And that's pretty standard. I mean, there are
Okay.
some departments like Wisconsin Rapids has an extremely high Medicaid payer mix, which you don't want at all. So
I got to be when I look at the high, low, and the averages and where we came to, I feel like this is more than fair. I really do, and I realize we won't collect every single time, especially when it comes to Medicare and Medicaid and all that kind of stuff. But
And the majority of our calls are definitely BLS, and Callie, jump in here if I'm wrong, but it's going to be BLS and ALS1. We don't do a ton of ALS2. We do very few SCT.
And we bill, what do we bill? It's like 6 million we bill and we collect the 1.4, something
I
like
would
that.
have to look. Yeah, I'm not sure.
How are you collecting the resident, non-resident data? How are you?
There's a little checkbox in our software, so when the crews do a report, it asks if they're a resident of the district. And they check that box, and then our billing company can see that when they
And
call.
the billing company does double check the addresses.
Because sometimes when you're under stress, you don't,
Yeah.
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 It's a lot better today with our current software than it was 2 or 3 years ago with our old software. It was much more difficult. And I don't even want to say this, but it's better with the address, the readdressing. That helps with, especially like village versus town of Weston. Those are the difficult ones. With the readdressing, if it's a 6-digit address, it's a town of Weston, it's a 4-digit
Right.
address. So that helps with the billing also.
Do you have a preference on if we keep resident, non-resident?
I don't. To be honest with you, there's been argument that it's illegal, but that's been going on for 20 years. That it's technically illegal to charge residents and non-residents different rates.
Well,
I don't know that there's ever been an attempted or a successful lawsuit on that, but I've been told many times by multiple different EMS billing.
Well, going to suggest it would be fine because they're both getting increased.
There's also
You know,
some.
and you're the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So my
also
suggestion
some.
is when someone calls for an ambulance, they don't care where it's coming from. I mean,
Come on.
sometimes we respond to Wausau, sometimes Wausau responds to us. Same thing with Riverside. I mean, at the end of the day, I think we're just creating more paperwork and more headaches for ourselves.
The one thing I will just advise the board to take into consideration is that sometimes, and I'm not concerned about this, but I just want you to be aware, is that sometimes when you have discussions with contracted municipalities, these numbers mean a lot to them and how much their residents are being charged. But again, we're going to be very consistent with our
But then they'd
neighbors.
feel better if they're the same.
Well, definitely, for sure.
Yeah, so if
Yeah.
we had them both the same and not a non-resident to resident. it would
So
make-
let me ask this question. So if you're a resident, is that just Rib Mountain and Weston? So like our contracted areas, are they considered
No, they pay
non-resident?
non-resident.
It's just the village of
Oh.
Weston and the village of Rib Mountain.
That-
Everybody
that-
else pays non-resident.
Pleads my case even more. I would say just make it one fee and be done with it. Then it's fair across the board.
Yep.
That's just my 2 cents.
So current are right here, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
The only hiccup I see is that 425 going to 400.
Yeah, and we were, our 425 granted, we weren't the highest because somebody was 500. I'm sure that's Marquette County.
I just,
Or no, that's-
there's no reason to go down.
Yeah, I looked
So
at that.
either we
I
stay
know.
at 425 or go to 450, but why go down?
I would leave that at 14.
And the other reason I will say that that one is tough. So we get calls, and I get a fair amount of calls on this. I know Callie takes them as well. We go to we go to somebody that fell off a bicycle and they scraped their knee or something extremely minor, and a lot of times it's somebody else that called, and we do very few things. We put a Band-Aid on, we check a blood pressure, and they get a bill for $425. So we get some negative
What
feedback on
percentage,
that.
how many of those every 100, how many you get of those? What percent?
How many a year do
Of
you
this
mean?
425 charge.
Oh, how many people call us?
You got 100 of them, 100 of those, how many will be 425?
How many do we
You know,
collect?
Yeah. Well, no, not really. I mean, you go out on 100 calls.
Oh.
How many are going to be this?
Oh,
no transport
I
Band-Aid?
would say 15 to 20.
Yeah.
15 to
It's a-
20%. Then if it's a feel good, then go $300.
I don't even think it's
You know,
15 to 20%. It's
that-
15 to 20 calls a month.
Yeah, then I'd go $300 because seriously, if it's a Band-Aid and it's a show up and they're having a heartache over that, then I wouldn't even do that. I'd go to $300.
The ALS ones are different because the most common
But
one
this
by
is the
far is
BLS,
diabetics.
you said, right?
Yeah, I'm
No
looking
transport,
at
right?
I'm
Okay.
looking at BLS.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually
So
we're
I'm
doing
talking about the current 425, and the suggestion is 400.
Yeah, so it's minimal.
And the low is 200, 300, and done.
Does that include a lift assist?
We currently do not charge for lift assist. So if
Yeah.
we go, what our billing company is instructed to do is that if we perform a skill, so we do a set of vital signs, we do an EKG, we check a blood sugar, those types of things, that triggers a charge.
Okay.
If it's just somebody fell down, they're unable to get back into bed, we lift them up, they do not get a bill.
Okay.
Okay.
So this 425 is a Band-Aid.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I mean, the other thing I was just thinking too when it comes to resident, non-resident, is even though Ringgold, Easton, Marathon, Satine, all those areas are not Weston or Remote, they still, on top of their, if you get an ambulance ride, they're getting a bill, right? But those municipalities also still pay us
They do.
a contracted amount. So I
On top of
understand,
that, on top
to
of
me,
that,
to me, in some sense, that almost makes them a resident of your service area, because we're contracted to take care of it, we have to
Sure.
take it.
Well, you'll more than make it up on these suggestions if you take that one down. So, just a thought. Okay?
And everything, I mean, I just looked at the numbers, it looks like everything is above what the non-resident fee would have been anyways, so.
Yes. But to the municipalities, not us and not Vermont, of course, they're the same now. So now they don't have any,
Right.
problems with it.
So this is a stupid question. I'm good that way. So a non-resident who's skiing up on Granite Peak and they're from Chicago and they fall and break their leg, because you're probably out there how many times a day? Because skiing happens.
It's about 100 times in the winter.
Yeah.
There you go.
They're our best payers.
Okay.
They're our best payers.
The people at the ski hill tend to have commercial health insurance.
We've tried to just do an extra $1.
Yeah, they're
on the tickets,
non-residents
on-
and they're
on-
commercial
yeah.
insurance.
Just get an extra $1 on every
Okay.
pass. Yeah.
Or they're foreign and they have some kind of.
We like busy,
We actually
icy
pick up a
weekends.
lot of people from
Yeah.
overseas on the ski hill.
Well, I was wondering about that.
Like
It's
foreign insurance.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we do get.
There's not a lot of, I mean, if you think about it, there's not a lot of people on Medicare and Medicaid that are skiing.
Correct. Yeah.
So they're usually,
Good point.
We
Good
assume
point.
that's gonna be the same with the new bike park too.
Yeah. Right. I mean, you're gonna
I
have the
mean,
same
because you're gonna
story
have
there.
the same, that's gonna be.
It's inherently dangerous.
Yeah.
there's a lot of for whatever reason, and maybe it's an Illinois thing, but I noticed our ski hill patients tend to have Blue Cross Blue Shield. That must be a very
Well, they
popular
just gotta be
health plan
thrilled
in
that we show
Illinois.
up.
So-
They go up there to ski and they don't ever think about an injury. Oh my God, they're here.
You have broken collarbones and shoulders.
Yeah.
with
There's an
like-
event up there this weekend, and they'll probably have 500 to 1,000 people running around the hill, 30 plus miles all day.
So is that an event then that
They
we?
don't contract
Okay,
us.
that's only when somebody gets hurt.
Yeah, so we tell them that the fire chief emails them and says, we may not have the staffing to cover this event because you're choosing not to
I just
pay
sent
us
them
a
an email
standby
today.
fee.
actually.
We're like when you go to a concert, you've got an ambulance
So
sitting
just-
there.
Yes.
Right.
be
It's
advised if you
dedicated.
need an ambulance,
dedicated.
it could take time.
Okay.
Okay, question, are these new rates reflected in the budget? Will that help our budget now?
They are not reflected in the budget.
Okay.
And again, bear in mind, I mean, we're bumping them up. It's going to help some, but it's not going to be an extra $80,000
Right.
or anything of that nature. It's going to be a somewhat small amount.
Okay.
The other thing that we didn't discuss that I have on here, the mileage, I'm sure you saw. And then if you look down farther, so for fire inspections, honestly, the bottom ones are the reason the fee schedule came up. And then when I opened it up, I said we probably should do a review of the ambulance rates. So fire inspection, I bumped up from $30 to $40 a share. Can maybe talk to that a little bit. I don't know how many of those we're sending out, but I don't think we get a whole lot paid. It's pretty
Just sent
small.
out 10, I got 3 checks paid.
Okay, so, and I don't know if $30 is enough, especially for a bigger business to make them fix their, again, we're very tightly staffed with inspections as well. So when Marty or Paul have to go out and inspect the same building 8 times, it starts to
That's
really.
when the fee kicks?
Fee
It's
kicks
not
in
the
after.
first initial one.
After
No,
the
after
third.
third.
After the third. Oh,
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. So it's something to help, and the question there is to bump it from 30 to 40. And then the other things we had in there were for some classes that we teach, and the big one is, if you see it says AHA Skills Assessment. So I'm going to call it the new thing, even though it's been around for a while, is that you can go online now and do your American Heart Association, your CPR refresher, or ACLS or PALS. You can do your refresher online, but then you have to go into a training center, which we are, to get your, or training site, we are, to do your skills assessment, which takes 20
Half
minutes.
an hour.
Half
Not
hour.
even, yeah.
So we've had a fair amount of those lately that Callie's been doing, and Darren still does a lot of them. But we technically don't have a fee for that. So that's why there's nothing there right now. But we put it at $25. The tech college charges $22. So I bumped it up a little bit over the tech, but
Good.
Again, I got a quick question. The fee for Marty, should we be billing by the hour for that? for some of it. I mean, because I'm just throwing this out there. If he has to come re-inspect my building versus Wassa Supply,
Yeah, I mean, so
that's a big difference.
that would be a little bit tough to do. I mean, the software does have it where we
Software
could
does
do that.
but you have to.
He would have to punch in and punch out basically, but it can do that. Number two, there are some that would be difficult because like if he goes to Dunkin' Donuts for an exit light, he's literally going to be there 3 minutes.
Yeah,
So then
Right, well, I know, but that's your initial one.
that's your
So-
initial.
So now I gotta go
No,
to, I gotta go to Wassa Supply.
no, I'm saying
Or third, I mean. Third.
I'm saying Dunkin' Donuts doesn't fix their exit light for
Right,
3
so I'm
times and
coming
he goes back
so
a
it's
4th time.
billable. But now, let's say you have the same thing, so you've got something, exit here and exit at Building Supply, Wassa. Just your foot traffic, I mean, it's a million
Yeah.
square feet. You know, there's no way you can do something there unless it's right in the front door, so you're gonna be spending some time traveling through there.
Historically,
You know.
those businesses are our most compliant.
Your best
businesses.
ones.
We
Well,
don't
yeah.
have issues with them.
I got
Well,
it.
They
we're
have
we're
their
very
own-
compliant, plus we
have-
give them food. on
We
top
have
of it,
issue
so,
with the right, wrong, or indifferent mom and pop's hair salon. You know,
Yeah.
the really small businesses.
But
Honestly,
insurance carriers are gonna go through, I mean, we used to do inspections for insurance, we walk through and you have to do, I mean, we're checking to make sure you don't have boxes stacked up against your
Sprinklers.
sprinklers,
Right.
and if you do, and so that's in the big companies, yeah, your
Right.
mom and pops, nobody's walking through and gonna do an insurance inspection on that.
The buildings we have the most problems with by far is the apartment buildings.
Well,
Wow.
I hate to say it, even if it takes 3 minutes to go back and check an exit light, if you have to go back 4 times, I'm sorry. Like at some point, you deserve the bill you get. Like
Absolutely.
it's not hard to just get it fixed.
COD,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
right now.
Should it escalate should it be like 3 to 5 is 40, 6 to 9 is 80, 12 to 13 is 120?
Yeah.
Well,
We
that's a
c-
good idea.
We can do anything we
It's
want.
a call
The-
that shouldn't have happened.
the
You
one-
shouldn't even had to go there the third or fourth or fifth time. Shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say is that having this discussion on a different topic with our attorney several years ago, he said you have to be a little bit careful, and not that those are obnoxious numbers because they're not, but you can't charge obnoxious numbers because we have to give reason of how we came up with those numbers. So if let's say we wanted to charge $500, we can't do that. I mean you can, but if you get challenged, you're going to lose. So I think that's reasonable, and those numbers aren't crazy as long as we keep
Okay.
them.
I mean, if apartments are, I've heard you mention that before, and that's, people are living there, they need working fire systems.
Those are the most dangerous. Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
And it's the biggest thing, and Cher can probably attest to this a little bit too, is the apartments certainly have issues, but the biggest problem is there's several apartment buildings that are owned by people in Mississippi or name your state, so they definitely don't care. They're gone. They don't respond to our letters, and Marty spends a ton of time trying to track down building owners and managers and all kinds of stuff. So
Okay.
Well, this gets reviewed every year, right?
yes.
You can't use special charges to, I suppose, I don't know how that would work, being safer versus like being able to put it on a property
That's
tax.
what I was gonna ask. It's a service to property, so it officially is.
Part of, yeah, because I know we end up doing that in red. If they don't pay, I mean,
And-
on a tax bill.
As we were looking at this, I talked to the fire marshal in Wausau, and he said, this was a couple weeks ago I talked to him, he said as of that day they collected over $10,000 in fire inspection fines so far this year.
Wow.
And how do they do it? Do they put it on the property tax bill?
I didn't ask that question. I can, but I didn't.
Special assessment.
Yeah,
Special
yeah, I mean,
assessment.
yeah, they'll get their attention and some won't care. I mean, I have found that out with the utility now.
So what do you think? Could you do $40 for the third inspection and $50 for the fourth?
Graduated, yeah, go. Bring it, keep it up.
Increase it $10
$10.
for every.
Because your time is worth something, that's
Oh,
why you
heavens,
justify
yes.
it.
Heavens,
Yeah.
yes.
You're not extracting.
I'd go.
Do you want to max it out at like 70 or something like that, like sixth and subsequent?
Sure,
or
I'm
something
fine
like
with that. Yeah.
Well, at a certain point, do we just shut it down, red flag it, red tape it? What?
We can. I mean that's a
Absolutely.
different thing, but we
Yeah.
can do that.
Depending
Yeah.
on the severity of it. Okay.
All right, so I'll make a motion to approve the fee schedule with the removal of the non-resident fees and the addition of the
From max to
escalation
70.
on the fire inspection,
Yep.
Okay.
the fire re-inspections.
Anything on non-transport BLS resident from 425?
Oh, and we will keep the non-transport for a BLS resident at $425. Thank you.
All right, motion by Cronin. Do we have a second? Second by Longhorn. Any more in the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Let's see, we've got 9 and 10 done, staff reports, report from fire chief or deputy. Which one wants to go first?
I don't have a lot. I was gonna mention that the interns passed their EMT, but we kind of stole our thunder with that one already. So they are trucking along, doing well, taking some transfers. I think Parker's been on how many already? Do you know?
5 or 6 probably.
Good, good.
And
So
they make that higher wage when they go on the transfer. So
Right,
that's a
yeah.
really good way to do that. Make some extra cash.
So they got the first hurdle crossed and they're doing well. Obviously, we're deep into the whole budget thing here and the fire fee, so I got a lot of moving pieces with that. Other than that, as far as apparatus and staffing, I'll let Eric talk a little bit about, we did do a recruitment for anticipated openings. I'll let him talk about our process there. I don't think I have a whole lot else.
Okay. Eric?
My report is in the packet
Yep.
at the end. We just completed an academy. We have 6 new firefighters, 6 part-time, 1 paid per call firefighter. They've all completed the academy, so they're all up and running now. The interns were running through the academy as they finished their fire courses. So Logan's up and running as a firefighter. In January, we'll run an academy, and Parker and Abby will be in that
Is
academy.
one of those new people sitting here in this room?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Paid per call firefighter
Good.
who's up
Yeah.
and running now.
Good, thank you,
Yes.
Steve.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
In addition, just to mention, we did that recruitment for the full-time staff in anticipation, and we've been putting it out as creating an eligibility list for potential future positions. So there's no promise of employment. We didn't say how many we were going to hire. It's just creating an eligibility list. We decided to advertise on Facebook initially. I didn't know you could do this, my first time, but we advertised nationwide. So we were getting applicants from Las Vegas and California and Texas, and I got text messages on Facebook every other day. Through that entire process, and then the last month, because we've been doing it for 3 months now, the last month we honed it into Wisconsin and the borders. We got a total of 36 applicants through that, and we narrowed those 36 down to 22 potentials that we will interview. We emailed out to them to give us resumes and licensure so that we can verify their education, and then on the 16th, the plan is to email them back and let them know whether or not we're going to interview them. So we're kind of waiting what the decision's going to be on hiring and the budget where we're at until we do anything with that. But we'll have 22. Of the 22, one's from Illinois, one is from Washington State, one is from Marquette on the Michigan side, but has all Wisconsin certifications. And then there are from Wisconsin, but all over the state. They're from all over the place. So we got a really good sampling there, which most departments, like the chief said Merrill just did a hiring.
And they had 3 applicants.
They had 3 applicants. And they're offering the same kind of stuff we are, where we're paying for paramedic. You can come in now with EMT. So we're really happy with our recruitment that we're doing, especially with the recruiting we did with the part-timers and getting the quality we had of applicants. EMS response numbers are there. Like I had previously said, we have 17 interfacility transports. That's up quite a bit. Our average this year has been less than 10. So that's really good. We brought on a couple of additional IFT staff in the last couple months that have got trained up and they're running. A critical care paramedic and an RN. We also have the interns that now can do interfacility transfers. We also had a meeting with the battalion chiefs and command staff about the interfacility, so we hope that trend continues.
Good.
Fire response numbers are there. Structure fire in the city of Wausau. We had another swift water rescue in a village over by the Boy Scout camp. That was 2 this year we had. We had a tree on fire, which was interesting. It was a old hollowed out maple tree, and it was on fire inside the tree. And that was about a 60 to 80 foot tree that we really didn't want to cut down, and we didn't. And it was right on Oriole. It was
Oh.
right in town, right behind the old Joann's. It was like, so it was right in
wow.
town. And then we had an animal rescue. We had a tree and a cat and a tree.
Wow, that's
Either
very
way around the
wild.
card.
Tree and cat.
Tree and a
Cat-
Very strong,
cat and
very
tree.
strong cat. Yep.
Concurrent call data is there with the associated graphs. We're running right just above 30%. So we're down a little bit from last year's 40%, but we're still at like 32, 33% concurrent calls like the chief had pointed out. Training numbers are there. And there, the training numbers there's always some time that's missed that isn't tracked perfect. Fire prevention activities are there. They were limited in August. That's really making an uptick in September, and in October it goes through the roof. You'll see that data go up quite a bit. We're waiting on the SAFER grant. All the other grants are in the process. We're still waiting to get the porta tank that we got the grant for.
Pretty soon.
We're
here.
finalizing the WPS grant we ordered today. We worked through KIDA specifically, so instead of paying $45 a detector, we're paying, I forget what we're paying, but we're getting 80 detectors we're getting about double. So we're getting carbon monoxide detectors. Once we get them in, we're going to do a program where we're going to give them out for free and install them into residences. There'll be some kind of a application they'll have to do, and then we'll do an install for them so everybody has working carbon monoxide detectors as far as the ones that we got through the grant. And then the graphs are there. As you look at those graphs and those numbers are fire EMS response remains strong. That we're sending rescue truck chasing after EMS calls just to get some additional hands, and those people are mobile because they are dedicated for fire. But if anybody has any questions on my report,
Any questions? Yes.
I got a quick one. So in your concurrent call data, year to date, 132 times there were 3 or more concurrent calls. Is that 3 or more? Is that 132 times that we had situations like you described?
yes.
So every other day, we are at the point that one more call and someone's not getting somebody showing up.
Even today.
Or we're gonna call somebody else.
Or we had to call somebody else. But that's, in a life or death situation, minutes matter. So to the point of the staff, that's where we're at.
And
So-
if you look at the data, almost twice a day, we literally have an engine crew. And the engine crew it's 2 people and battalion chief. That's all we have between the 2 municipalities, and twice a day. And those times, an average call is about an hour. So for an average, and it more plus or minus depending on the call, but on an average of 2 hours a day, if you get a house fire, you're getting 2 people.
Wow.
And to your point, Steve, so 132 calls where we have 3 or more. How often do we have 4?
I can give you that
And
data.
can we handle 4?
No.
No. At the 3 or more, so when
So
that
it's-
132, I would say, now I'm going to just shoot this
Yep,
off the hip.
4 or 5. I'm just
Maybe
curious.
10% of that 132 we're covering. Would you say that? Because the chief
Maybe.
and us 3 need to be in the facility to cover that 3rd call with our current staffing levels. Because we're not fully staffed the majority of the time. I mean, so
So 4 is unmanageable.
yeah,
Correct.
with our current staffing.
Okay, thank you.
Any
And
more
those
questions?
3 or more, it's a max. We've had a maximum. It's 6 or 7 calls at one time this year. We had 6 911 calls all come in that overlap at the same time.
And if you get calls on it, because there was another comment that I had heard that, well, we're hiring 9 fire, so that's 27 people. Because I think there's a misnomer that we're hiring 9 people per shift.
It's
And that's
3,
not.
it's 3 people.
It's
It's
3.
3 people
It's
per
9
shift. It's
people
only
total.
3
3
shifts.
people
Yeah.
per shift.
3
That would be really nice.
Yeah.
Does Riverside run into the same issues as well?
No, because they have a
No.
third of the call
Yeah.
volume that we do.
Yeah.
So we run about
Oh.
4,000
Yes,
calls a year.
that's-
They have about 1,500 calls a
Okay,
year.
got it.
1,300.
Yeah, significantly less. And their call volume, a big portion of their call volume is Chronowetter is a contract.
Right.
Because Chronowetter's jumped, when we were covering Chronowetter,
Yeah.
they were about 100 to 150 calls a year, and now they're 400 to 420, something like that, calls a year. So they've increased significantly in the last 2 to 3 years.
I did want to add one thing in quick, and Callie can give details if anybody's got. But we had another cardiac arrest resuscitation. I think is she still alive?
Still alive.
Okay, I probably should have asked that before I said it.
Yeah.
But this was, it ties into this because this was a young female here in the village. I forget where, I don't remember what street, it's not important, but 40 some years old. So very young, collapsed in her home. Husband or boyfriend or somebody was there and called us. The crew got there and resuscitated her. But so everybody was in house when that call came in. So the crew from Weston responded with the ambulance and the rescue truck. Obviously, I have no way to prove it, but if the ambulance is out, and especially if the ambulance and the rescue were on another call, that there is no chance she survives. None.
Well,
Because by the time the ambulance gets here from Rib Mountain, she doesn't have a chance. So the staffing's important. We just got to try to figure out a way to.
I think it's a 10% decrease in
Every
survival every minute, and the out-of-hospital cardiac arrest survival rate is already less than 10%, so that's pretty.
I mean, we do a pretty good job. We've had several resuscitations again this year. And Callie tracks a bunch of data on that we review all the time to see what works and what doesn't. And I mean, the big thing is just getting people there. I mean, we try to work with the PD so their crews get there and start CPR. I mean, that certainly helps. We try to get more AEDs out. We try to train as many people in CPR. I mean, that stuff all makes a difference. But at the end of the day, it's how fast the ambulance gets there.
yep.
And I would add, our staff is exceptional. We give out commendations for saves. Last year, those of you that were at the edge pinning, we gave out a ton of save commendations. This year, we've already got, if we have 2 saves, I mean, that's another 7 individuals, and one of those individuals, he's going to get a save pin with the number 6 on it.
Wow.
So that's 6 saves
That's
in 2
outstanding.
years. 6 saves in 2 years since we started giving out that commendation.
Good. Good. Excellent job. All right. Any remarks from the board of directors? Colin? Keith? Steve?
Nope, I'm good.
I have none. Our next meeting date?
October. We might need to push it up a week.
Okay.
When is the Rib Mountain meetings? Is it the
First and third Tuesday.
first and third
We're
Tuesday?
the
Yeah,
third
and we're gonna need,
Third.
we do budget workshops prior to the village
Yeah,
board meeting now.
What's our budget?
So we can't even, I would not
The what,
recommend
sixth?
having any
Okay,
meeting on
we're
that
fine.
Tuesday.
On that Tuesday,
What are you
Yeah.
thinking?
possibly October 8th.
That'd
So
be a
Thursday?
Wednesday.
That'd be a
Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
That'd be a second Wednesday.
That would work fine for me.
Chief, does
Also
that
me
work
too.
for you?
Yeah.
Yep, I know I'm good.
And if we get
October
the
8th.
grant between now and then,
We gotta get.
we
gotta
would
get
have
together.
to, we would
Yeah.
have to have an emergency meeting
Yep,
because we
yep.
have that 14 days to make a decision.
And then 5:30 at Station
We have to make that, we have to have an emergency meeting for the board of directors or in
Like,
Weston?
everybody's gonna have to have emergency meetings.
Okay.
Finance, Weston board, our board, because it all needs to, we got 14
Remote, yeah.
days to approve.
Just send some out, sure.
Okay.
5:30 again?
5:30,
Do you want to
yep.
do it at Station 1?
Let's do station 1.
Yep.
Okay,
They need some love.
I'll be happy.
Great science.
And just so the
Oh, thanks.
I said Fred. Outstanding.
Just so the board is aware, I will be gone a fair amount in October.
Nope, not happening.
Eric and I are going to a union conference the 12th and 13th in Milwaukee. And then I have a Chiefs conference, I think it's the
16th.
Thank you. 15th and 16th. And then I am gone for a conference, not fire department related, the 21st through the, it was going to be longer. It's been cut back to the 21st through the 25th. So there will be a couple chunks in October while I'll be gone. But
Okay.
I'll obviously still have my phone and email and all that good stuff.
So October 8th, you said? 9th?
October 8th?
5:30.
5:30,
At
station 1,
5:30,
remote.
Station 1. I will send that
Okay.
out tomorrow bright and
Thank
early.
you. Looking for a motion to adjourn?
Please.
By Cronin, second by Monahan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. 7:01. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Mine.